Let's understand multidimensional arrays. Till now we have studied only about one-dimensional arrays. That means the arrays which grow only in one direction. But we may have arrays that have more than one dimension, and these are called as multidimensional arrays. A multidimensional array may be defined as an array of arrays. For example, a two-dimensional or a three-dimensional array. Here you can understand the difference between a one-dimensional and a two-dimensional array. A one-dimensional array grows only in one direction, whereas a two-dimensional array grows along two different axes, say x and y axis. Two-dimensional arrays are the most popular category of multidimensional arrays. They are made up of rows and columns and are also called as matrix or table. The syntax of declaration of a two-dimensional array is quite similar to that of a one-dimensional array. Here we provide the data type of the array, then we supply the name of the array, and in separate square brackets we have to mention the number of rows and number of columns that we wish this array to have. So we create an array called ARR, which is a two-dimensional array having 3 rows and 3 columns as shown in the figure. The index of the first row always begins from 0. The index of the second row is 1 and index of third row is 2 and so on. Similarly, for columns, we have the first column at index 0, the second column at index 1, third column at index 2 and so on. To calculate how many elements to store within a two-dimensional matrix, we just need to multiply the number of rows with number of columns. Here, in this case, we have 3 rows and 3 columns. So, 3 multiplied by 3 will give us 9 elements. That means we can store 9 integer type values within this two-dimensional array called ARR. In order to initialize a two-dimensional array, we need to first supply the data type and the name of the array along with number of rows and number of columns. Then we put an assignment operator, and within the curly braces we have to supply all the values which we wish to store within this array. We can initialize our given array ARR 3 by 3 with 9 integer values, let's say from value 1 to 9, just by mentioning those values within a pair of curly braces. This is one way of initialization. Or we can also initialize our two-dimensional array in this format. Here, the first inner pair of curly braces contains 3 values which we wish to store within the first row. The second inner pair of curly braces contains the next 3 values which we wish to store within the second row, and likewise for the third. Elements inside a two-dimensional array are always stored row-wise. That means we have to first fill the first row, then second row, then third row and so on. Upon initialization, our array will look like this. All the values have been stored row-wise. To access a particular element in a two-dimensional array, we need to supply the name of the array, and in separate pair of square brackets, we have to mention its row number and column number. And if we wish to access any particular value, then we have to mention the name of the array followed by the row index and then column index within separate pair of square brackets. So let us suppose that we wish to access the first value which is stored at the top left corner of this array. Then we will have to mention ARR 00, which is the row index and then column index, and this will give us value 1. Similarly, let's suppose that we wish to access value 8, which is stored at row 2 and column 1. Then we can simply write ARR 2 and then 1 within separate pair of square brackets. And this is how you can access any particular value within your array. In this program, we are going to initialize a two-dimensional array and print its elements. So let's begin by typing #include iostream, and in the next statement we will have using namespace standard. Then the third statement will have int main function. And now inside the main function, let's declare our array. Let's call this array as ARR, and suppose it is having 2 rows and 3 columns. You can create any array according to your own choice also. Let's say the data type of this array is integer. That means we can store only integer values. So this is how we declare the array. Now let us initialize this array by typing assignment operator and a pair of curly braces. Now, how many values should I insert within this array? Well, the answer is very simple. Just multiply the number of rows, which is equal to 2 in this case, with the number of columns, which is equal to 3, and that will give you 6. So we can store 6 elements within this array. Let's say I am inserting here 6 random integer values like this. And now the next step is to print a line where we are telling the users that we are displaying array elements. And after this I will put a semicolon. Now this is a two-dimensional array, and here we have to visit all the rows, and within each row we have to visit all the columns. Therefore we need two variables. One is for keeping track of rows and another one is for keeping track of columns. And after this I will put a semicolon. Now let's write our nested for loop, because we are talking about moving from one column to the other within each row. That means we have to create one for loop for keeping track of rows. So our first row will begin at index 0, and let's see what will be the conditional statement for this for loop. We have two rows, and if the index of the first row is 0, then the index of the second row will be 1. So we will type here row less than equal to 1, and then again semicolon, and we are incrementing the row number, so row plus plus. This is how we type our outer for loop, which is for keeping track of number of rows within the two-dimensional array. Same thing we are going to do for the columns. Here we have 3 columns. That means the indices for the columns will be like this. For first column, the index will be 0. Then we will move to the second column, which is at index 1, and then we move to the third column, which is at index 2. So conditional statement will be call less than equal to 2, and then semicolon, and call plus plus. So we are moving in forward direction, so from 0 to 1 to 2, hence we have written call plus plus. Now within this inner loop body, we will type the statement like this: /n element at row number, and then we provide the row number here, and similarly here we will type and column number, and then we will put here col, which will give us the column number. This is the variable name, and then we will put one is equal to sign, and then after this we will access the array elements by typing the name of the array, and then providing the row index, and then providing the column index, and finally we will put a semicolon. So this is how we write our loops, and finally we will type here return 0, then save our program as, let's call it as array 3, and then save it. Let's run this program. There are no errors. Here we can see displaying array elements. Element at row number 0 and column number 0 is equal to 10. This means this is the first element of our two-dimensional array. Similarly, row number 0, row number 0, and within row number 0 we have column number 0, 1 and 2, and similarly for row number 1 we have column number 0, 1 and 2, and all the values are showing in the way in which we have stored them.